Hello, everyone, to the Jewish Week Online. I'm your host, Aaron Herman. How do you create Jewish apps for Google Glass? We had the opportunity to speak with Barry Schwartz of Rusty Brick about his initiative to bring Jewishness to Glass. Let's take a look. When you hear wearable technology, Jewishness is the first thing you think of. And you are lucky enough to be a Glass Explorer. Tell us what it means to be a Jewish glass explorer.
What does it mean to be a Jewish glass explorer? I can't wear it on Shabbos. People ask me, can I wear Google Glass on Shabbos? No, but in terms of, it's more of being a developer and a Google Glass explorer and being Jewish, which makes me, I guess, somewhat unique because there's only probably a few of us. And the way my company and myself, we think about, Rusty Brick thinks about Google Glass and Judaism is how can we make this device that's sitting on my head right now useful for a Jew. And we come up with some concepts in order to do that. We've done the same thing for iPhone and Android. But that's the way I think when it comes to being somebody who's a Google Glass Explorer, Jewish, and a developer.
So, when you think of, technologies, and looking at you now, it's sort of like right at Minority Report or something like that, where you think about augmented reality and how does that fit into to Judaism? Why is it important for us, and as a developer, to be in this world of augmented reality and wearable technologies?
Right. So I think let me talk about the augmented reality. I think a lot of people are a little bit confused about what Google Glass really is. It's not like I'm looking at you right now that I know who you are by just looking at you. It's not like a facial recognition. It's not overlaying your kids' names or your birth date and stuff like that. It's not. That would be cool. Like if I look at somebody, it gives me their name, their history, and stuff like that. It doesn't do that yet. I guess potentially it possibly could. So it's not really an augmented reality. The thing is, it's more of a. I like to think of it in terms of what we're building is more of a. I don't know if you ever use Google now. It's more of a predictive search for Jews. So, for example, if we detect that you're constantly going to synagogue or shul at a certain time, let's say you always go to the Shachris at 6 o'clock in the morning, and you always go to Marav at 8 o'clock at night. If we know these types of patterns about you, we should be able to tell you, hey, you have 15 minutes to get to shul based on your pattern, and here are the closest synagogues to you. When we know you're in shul, we're able to say, hey, you're in shul, we know you're in shul, and today's Rosh Chodesh, so you have to say Hallel, stuff like that. So it's more of doing the predictive things, such like, we know you're getting hungry, it's around lunchtime, here are some kosher restaurants, and here's how to get to them. But it's all being pushed to you when we think it's useful for you.
And there's just so many opportunities. You talked about Zmanim for shul times. But I'm just thinking now is like you're in Israel and you want to try to find directions to the Kotel. It's now literally right here. You have to look down. What are some of the things that you've been playing with?
So that I've been using for Google Glass. You want to know what we're building or what we're playing?
Yeah.
All right. So on the building side, we built a few apps. One is Jew Glass, which we had to rename to Jewish Guide for Glass because Google doesn't want you naming stuff something glass. That being said, we built for Jew Glass are obviously prayer reminders, finding synagogues, showing specific prayers. Part of that is obviously phone calls or directions to those synagogues. Prayer advisor tips, specifically around knowing what you have to say at that time of day. Things like Shabbos reminders, so you can actually schedule when you want to be reminded about Shabbos, and it sends it to you based off of the time and those time zone you're in or where the location you're in. And obviously, like restaurant finders based off of lunchtime or dinner time, how to get there and stuff like that. So that's what we're building with Jew Glass. We built a few other apps. One's like a publisher app for sending content to people based off of certain topics. People can subscribe to this website and learn about that content on that website. We built an app just for playing around for a company called Easy Contacts USA to basically do an eye exam. So it basically shows you an eye exam. You actually can test yourself. You talk to it. You say, all right, that letter E is going down, that letter E is up, that letter E is right, and it changes the size, and it scores you on your eye exam, some cute gimmick thing. So there's a lot of different things we're doing. One is utility-based apps. One is a marketing type of app for a company to promote themselves, and stuff like that. So it really depends on. We're doing a lot of cool stuff.
And how does it feel when it's on you? It looks comfortable, but like I don't know. It seems I don't know. It feels like something's off a little bit, but it seems comfortable.
Yeah, it's very comfortable to wear. I enjoy wearing it. It gets a little hot when you're doing videos and stuff like that. Like this side is like where the battery is. The microphone's over here in the back. But I could clip on like sunglasses to it. When you do that, it looks much better. You don't really notice it being there. But not wearing the sunglasses, it makes everything look awkward. Google, I assume, is working on making it less awkward, but it's 100%. I love it. I can be completely hands-free, respond to emails, post tweets, Facebook messages, respond to people, get information pushed to me. Like, I know I have a meeting I had to drive to earlier today. It said, all right, you have, your meeting's in, 15 minutes, and it takes you about 15 minutes to get there. You should leave in 5 minutes. Stuff like that. It's really useful.
When you start thinking about, I guess, emerging technologies, what was the first step for you to start thinking about creating an app for Google Glass?
So what was my first thing that I thought of in terms of creating an app for Jews, you mean?
Yes.
For Google Glass?
Yes.
So that was Jew Glass, really looking at some of the best things we built for iPhone and Android, specifically around Siddur, and specifically around the content we have. We have databases of kosher restaurants, databases of Zmanim, databases of synagogues. So we basically were looking at a way to combine all that stuff into one universal app and try to make something that's useful to users. Because for Google Glass, it's not something, you're not going to sit there and daven all chakras by staring at this little piece of glass. It just could be stressful for your eye. But it's more about pushing snippets of data directly to you when you need it, and having just a little quick screen that shows you what you need to see in a non-destructive way in terms of not being distracted, but getting the information you need without being distracted. That's the most important thing. So when you build Google Glass apps, you have to think more about what content is useful for people when they're on the go, hands-free, that won't distract people in a way that's not useful to them.
Is there an app that you'd love to develop for Glass? Like, is there like a pipe dream? Like, wow, as even Glass sort of evolves, is there something that is like the pie in the sky app? Like, this would be great for Jews in Glass.
Yes, we actually built a part of it. Then Google went ahead and replaced it. So what I wanted to do was, ever watch The Matrix?
Yeah.
So
sure.
They can like plug themselves in and like learn anything in a matter of seconds and like be an expert in that field. So what we built actually for Glass is you just basically tell Glass, how do I do X? And then I stream the YouTube video of how to actually do it. So you ask, how do I change the oil in my car? And then up comes a YouTube video showing you how to change the oil in your car. So I kind of like, I think it'd be cool to have just information streaming to your brain. And when that information streams to your brain, you're becoming almost an expert in that topic in a matter of seconds. Obviously, it's not going to be able to teach you how to do brain surgery, but there's pretty much videos on how to do anything on YouTube, and pretty much expert videos. But then Google came out with a native command built into Google Glass like a week or two after I built it and published it, and I think they call it how to do versus how do I. So, whatever.
No, it's a very exciting process, and especially going into the field of Jewish engagement and making things easier. It's there's so many different opportunities. Where can people learn more about your apps for Android and Apple and also for Glass?
All right, so right now we have a page for iPhone at rustybrick.com/iPhone. Android is rustybrick.com/Android. Glass right now is not rustybrick.com/glass. It's right now rustybrick.com/glass-Jew _PHP. So I'll make a shortcut to rustybrick.com/glass in the upcoming weeks so people can get to it.
Great. Well, thanks so much for your time. We look forward to sharing with you in this emerging technology.
Cool. Thank you.
As you can see, Google Glass is a wonderful tool to explore one's Judaism. And the best part is, with apps like the Jewish Guide for Glass, you'll never be late to shul again. This is Aaron Herman. Thanks for watching.